Hello, my friends. This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D, the self care motivator. I'm sending out this video because you attended one of my sessions, and I am excited about the fact that you now have newfound information relating to the importance of self care in the workplace. Hopefully, you'll get a chance to share this video with people who did not attend the conference so they can be just as enthusiastic as you are about the importance of wellness in the workplace, but also wellness in life. So, I'm not going to go over the entire presentation, but I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the key things that I think we need to walk away with, take back to our organizations and our companies, and implement. I always say this when people attend conferences, one of the worst things that you can do is go back to the status quo. Why learn all this information and go back and continue to do what I've always done? And so we shared some, with enthusiasm, information about self care that I want you to take back and implement. A couple of things that we said in the presentation about self care. Number one, self care is a precursor to wellness. You cannot get on the road to wellness without taking a trip through self care. Self care is how we get to wellness. And so we wanted you to understand that we talk about wellness a lot in the workplace, but what we don't talk a lot about is self care. And the reason why is another thing that we talked about in our presentation is mindset. And one thing I shared was that self care and wellness takes growth mindset. Other words, we need to see, and this is another thing that was shared, that self care needs to be just as important as customer care because we can better take care of our customers when we better take care of ourselves. When we have energy, when we have vitality, we can have better relationships in the workplace. We can have more enthusiastic interactions with each other. We can make decisions from a healthy perspective. So we want you to understand that this is why we think this is so important to the workplace, because we feel as though it can make a better workplace, a more productive workplace. And SHRM and many other organizations have mountains of research to support that. And so these are just a few things that we discuss. We talked about personal self-care as well as organizational self-care. And one thing I emphasized was the fact that you need both. But it's hard to get to organizational self-care unless I do personal. Because I can only be enthusiastic, all right, about that thing in which is I can personally say, yeah, I do this. This is something I do and it's benefiting me. So we said, go back and start somewhere, be it physical, be it mental, be it emotional, be it social, whatever, because self-care is not just working out and diet. Self-care is emotional intelligence. There's a variety of different things. So your peer heard this at the conference and bringing it back to you. We need everyone in the workplace to focus on wellness, man. I mean, not just for your job, but man, I'm a father with 4 beautiful kids. I want to be wealthy. Excuse me. I want to be wealthy, but as well, but well for them. I want to be well for my wife of 31 years. And I want to be well for you as customers or potential customers. Okay. And so wellness is not something, and self-care is not something we should take lightly. And so please understand that this information that we shared was designed for you to enthusiastically go back and implement systems. All right. One quote that I use frequently is this: we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. We need to understand, that self-care, all right, in order to be a system, we need to think about some things. We have what's called the 3A framework. You know what I mean? Where we talk about acceptance, that I need to do self-care, acceptance. Then we talk about action, and it's something that we need to do personally and organizationally in order to move self-care to the next level. And then we talk about accountability. How do we keep each other accountable? Because it's going to benefit our organization. All right. And so the 3A framework is our framework, but there's systems that we need to think about, Because what we're building is this, like, I'm a sports fan and I'm a football fan. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles football fan. I proudly say that. And I find that my team always does better when they work within systems, when they have certain ways of operating. And so what, just like a sports team operates within a successful system, so should the workplace. All right. And it's a better, more enthusiastic workplace when we take self-care seriously. The Society for Human Resource Management says that anxiety is the number 1 mental health issue in the workplace. All right. The American Medical Association said that we're experiencing a 20% clinically diagnosed depression rate in the United States. And so we need to start understanding that we can't play with self-care anymore. It's becoming an issue. And I am here as Coach D to be able to empower you to be able to embrace these principles via motivation and neuroscience. All right. I study neuroscience and I connect this to neuroscience because one thing I shared, and I'm going to end with this with the team, is that self-care is mindset focused. And I like Dr. Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset. Your organization needs to have an understanding that self-care is all about mindset. If we blow it off as unimportant and if it's not worthy of investing in, we're limiting the potential to create a healthy workplace, which creates a more productive workplace. So with that being said, I'm going to end. This is a simple video. I didn't put any flash in here. I didn't throw pictures of myself in this. I just want to talk to you. All right. Take self-care seriously. All right. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. One thing that your coworker found out in this workshop is that I want to end with this. The thing that we value, we take care of. The things that we value, we take care of. We got to value ourselves. We take care of our cars. We take care of our homes. We take care of our kids. We take care of our parents. We take care of our employees. We take care of everything. What about us? Because you can't pour from an empty tank. And there's too many empty tanks out here. And Coach D is trying to fill these puppies up. So if you're interested in talking to us about the possibility of working with you to create maybe some monthly coaching for the team virtual, we can set that up. We have an upcoming self-care challenge in September, mid-September, where we're going to go through 5 weeks of certain specific self-care areas that you as a team will work on. All right. And have fun doing. We're going to help you create what's called self-care pods. And these are just small groups within the organization that you can work together towards self-care. All right. Or we can set up, a self-care challenge for your organization. We can do it as long as you would like. It'd be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, where you're going to really start putting self-care on the map through weekly activities. We can even do them bi-weekly to give you more time to work on it. So if you're interested in any of that, please reach out to us, because we would love to work with you. We want to make it fun. We want to gamify it. We also want you to become healthy individually and organizationally through self-care. Thank you so much for your time. If we can be a resource to you, please reach out to us. SelfCareEmpowered.com, SelfCareEmpowered.com, or CoachDSpeaks.com. CoachDSpeaks.com. We would love to become your self-care motivation firm.